great new open for my show, but take a look back at another great open that, well, is going to take you back a while.
The Flip Wilson Show.
What a smash. Did you see that audience?
I haven't seen an audience in 15 years.
Boy, I remember every Thursday night from 1970 to 74 sitting in front to watch the Flip Wilson Show. Today we're going to be talking to comedy sensations Flip Wilson, Phyllis Diller, and Tiny Tim. And to start off the festivities, here he is, the one and only Flip! Golly. Oh, boy. It is so great to see you. Does he look great? Doesn't he look great? Wow. Thank you. I did not miss a show. Thursday nights, I was glued to the tube down in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, giggling, laughing, and waiting for Geraldine.
Well, you always did have good taste.
Thank you. Boy, from 1970 to 74, you're the first African-American to have a successful variety show on television.
I cannot tell you how long I have waited. I thought that you would never. So many times I've seen you introduce people to the loves of their life, and you did not know how long I've been waiting to meet you.
Are you serious? Me?
Yes, yes, yes. Because you are such a fine, wholesome young lady. And you are very much like the girl next door.
Thank you. That is so... Oh, I love you.
Really?
Thank you so much. What a compliment. Thank you.
It may seem as though I'm hitting on you.
Hit on me, hit on
But
me.
I'm trying to be a good neighbor.
I'm trying to be a good neighbor.
Yes, yes.
God.
I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
And the next time that you want me to come and do this show, don't send no ticket. You don't have to have no script. If you agree to have dinner, I'll buy my own ticket, and I will get on the plane.
I will have dinner. You got it. You got it.
Right.
My goodness.
You know what? I'm not going to mention any names, but I'd like to be your Stedman. You know? And I was thinking maybe, I'll show you how much I care about you. I'd like to do a television show with you, and they could name it Rolonda, and what's his name?
No.
That's all it is.
Everybody knows your
I've been very
name.
excited. I'm glad to be here, and kind of lost fumbling around for words, but I know what I feel.
Yeah, that's awfully nice of you. So you're single?
Yes, yes, I am.
You're not married anymore?
I am not married at this time.
Okay.
No, I had a few.
Yeah, I heard. You were married twice, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And
what
I
happened?
had 5 palimony suits.
They
didn't.
The lady up there had hyperventilated. She said 5 palimony suits.
Yes.
Why 5? How did you get...
Because if I had said 4, I wouldn't have been telling the truth. That's why 5.
But I think a lot of people are relate, because relationships are so hard these days.
You know what I think it is? When you're a man who makes a living with a dress on, women try you.
Well, let's talk about some of those characters.
Okay.
Geraldine rocked the world.
Yes.
Was Geraldine like the best character?
Okay.
Let's take a look at Geraldine.
Okay.
Well, you gotta see it to believe it.
Well, you better believe it, because you ain't gonna get to see it.
What you see is what you get.
Yes, that's how I go that line there.
Yeah.
that way that I gotta tell you the way that line came up. I had the Geraldine stuff on. It was just before I'm getting ready to go on stage, the first time, and one of the stagehands said, "Damn, you sure look good." I said, "What'd you say?" He said, "You sure are a fine-looking broad." And I said, "No matter how fine I look, when I take this dress off, what you see is what you get." The kids loved it.
Speaking of one of the men who were your characters, Herbie the Good Time Ice Cream Man.
Herbie?
Let's take a look at Herbie in action.
Okay.
Well, move away from the cart. I'm proud of the cart. People gotta see what I'm selling here. I don't care what you think of my attitude. I'm selling ice cream, not public relations. You want some or don't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody. I want some myself. Laurie, Debbie, Lindy, Sherry.
Chocolate, 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 chocolate.
Vanilla.
There's one in every group.
We're going to talk to you about some of your other characters, too, like Reverend Leroy in the Church of What's Happening Now. But wait a minute before we get there. Up next, we also have one of Flip's biggest fans backstage. It's his daughter. Flip's a daddy, too. Tamara's going to join us. She's going to tell us what Flip is really like. She's going to prepare me for that dinner I may have to have with him right after this.
Take it easy, Geraldine. I told you the name is Miss Jones. Now I'm not going to tell you again. You must not have heard about Killer.
Killer? Who's Killer?
Who's Killer? Honey, he marched down the football field of my heart. Planes, cars, trucks, buses, jets, and jackhammers.
Yes, yes.
Friends would be in click that, clack that, bang that, boom that, talk that, squawk that, and it's got to stop.
Yeah,
it's got to stop.
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
That's Flip Wilson. Oh, so many wonderful characters that we remember from 1970-74 when Flip Wilson had his long-running comedy show. What? You won 2 Emmys.
Yes.
That's amazing. You were on The Tonight Show 70 times.
I hosted it 70 times.
70 times. I mean, I can't imagine anybody 70 times. That character, Reverend Leroy of the Church of What's Happening Now.
Yes. I always say, you know what? I always say Geraldine was my most popular, Reverend Leroy was my favorite, but Flip was my idol.
Oh. There were so many things that your character said that became part of Americana.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times did you find yourselves going, honey, the devil made me do it, you know, or,
Yes,
you know.
that was the out for anybody. Everybody agrees that the devil's no good.
Right.
So anytime you do something wrong and you want to get it off of you without admitting that you're lying,
Right.
just say the devil made me do it.
Devil made me do it.
Yeah.
Devil made me do it.
And the devil gave me some ideas for you, too.
He did.
I'm sorry.
What you see is what you get, honey. You are a dad.
Yes.
4 kids you have.
Yes.
2 boys, 2 girls.
Yes.
One of them is here.
Yes.
Aren't you dying to know what Flip...
The one that I hate is here.
The one that you hated there? Oh, I don't believe that.
I'll tell you why this is the first time she's heard me say that.
Why?
But I'll tell you when she gets out of it.
Tamara, come on out here and talk to your dad. Come on out, darling. Boy, is that in your child?
I hate her.
That is your child. Look like you said, I want a daughter.
I hate her.
Why do you want to say
Okay.
that? You're going to give her a
She's the first time
complex.
No, I hate her. I hate you. I'll tell you what.
Why?
When the Bahamas won their independence, I was invited as guest of the government to the Bahamas independence. I took my 4 kids with me. I had 2 boys, 2 girls, and I was waiting for a chartered plane at a little airport in Miami. And there were 5 Caucasian guys there waiting for a plane too. And they said, how you doing, Flip? I said, fine. He said, these your kids? I said, yes. And one of the guys leaned over to her. She was 5. You remember this? And the guy said, did your father wear his dress at home, little girl? And she said, yes. And just a minute. And I have caftans that I wore at home. So I said, sir, it's a caftan that I wear at home. And she says, you wear your dress. You wear your dress. So I said, the kid's making a mistake. And the guy said, that's okay, Flip.
That's all right.
We
That's
understand.
all right.
So I've held that against her.
Oh, God. Tamara, what was it like being the little girl of Flip Wilson?
It was always a lot of humor in the home, always. Always interesting, a lot of fun. I mean, I really, obviously, I have nothing to compare it to as far in terms of childhoods, but I feel very fortunate. I had a very rich childhood, to say the least.
Here's your money.
Can he cook? Was he a dad who could cook? Could he whip up something in the kitchen?
Stay away from the sausages.
Sausages?
Sausages.
Uh-oh, I can hear.
He can burn a sausage, but he makes great lemonade. Yeah.
Great lemonade.
Yes. I got to tell you another wonderful thing she did, too.
Uh-oh.
I took a camera crew by her little Montessori school, and I said we want to surprise my kids and see what the reaction. And the first time, the people walked up with the camera right in her face and said, do you know who this is? And she said, yes. And then kept on with what she was doing. And the lady said, is this your daddy? She said, he's also my friend.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah.
You know, your dad's been out here flirting with me throughout the show.
She knows. I told her at the hotel.
Uh-huh.
I told her things about you at the hotel that I wouldn't dare say on television.
Ooh, to your daughter.
Yes.
Do you okay the women that he dates?
I'm just hoping that...
Only if they're negative. Generally, she's cool. And she's always been like a second voice because she can see through an individual like Superman see through a wall.
Right.
And if she says, I don't like that person, then I don't like him. But I never ask her before if she approves.
Is your dad a good date, you think?
You're going to have fun.
Gonna have fun? I know I'm gonna laugh a lot. So what, you were saying that you only hope what?
I only hope that, well, that my next mother is younger than I am. Older, actually.
Older than you are. Older.
Yeah, older.
God.
I'm praying that she's older, and I'll feel a little bit better about it.
Okay. Flip, getting back to your show now. He used to use all kinds of physical comedy for those of us who watch. It was so hilarious. Let's take a look at Flip Wilson and a very young Bill Cosby in action.
See a big fight last night?
No, I
What
missed
a
it.
fight, what a fight, great fight on stage, you know?
Yeah, must
I sit
be.
right there in front.
Yeah.
Oh, man, the kid got him.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it. The first 5 rounds,
Yeah.
kid was figuring him out.
Figuring him out.
Kid's checking him out.
Checking him
Kid's
out.
bobbing, weaving, bobbing, moving. Then the kid painted to the left, you know? He painted to the left,
Yeah.
kid painted to the right hook.
Yeah.
You know, he thought he knew what the kid was doing.
Hello.
Then all of a sudden, nowhere, the kid caught him off guard with a left. Then the kid knew he had him, you know? Once the kid knew he had him, the kid came up with a right cross. Right then, the kid did what I thought was a foul. I believe. Oh, yeah, a lot of people was going to boo him, but the kid...
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a lot more when we come back. Flip had Killer and Geraldine. Well, Phyllis Diller had Fang. We're going to talk to Phyllis Diller as soon as we come back.
So I hope you're enjoying this episode, and I hope you will subscribe and continue to enjoy. Just wanted to let you know that my voice acting masterclass is now digital. If you are somebody who's interested in being a voice actor, please go check it out. Go to Rolonda.com, Rolonda.com. That's my website, and you can check out all the details and even enroll in my voice acting masterclass. Hey, you'll never know how good you are until you try. Now, let's get back to the show.
OJ faces a new judge, but this time there's only one talk show with a seat in the courtroom, and that's Rolonda, bringing you what the other shows cannot in special Friday shows. Next, Rolonda.
We've been having a lot of laughs today, talking with Flip Wilson, the first African-American to host a television show, and what a successful run it was. Coming up next, she was the first woman to break into comedy and lead the way for female funny women to come. Look at Phyllis Diller in the very early days. Look at that picture. Isn't that something? But boy, has she come a long way, baby. Let's take a look at her now. Please welcome everybody, Phyllis Diller. Good to see you too. That's all right. No, I'll get them. Don't even worry. Oh my God. Have a seat. Have a seat. You look fantastic.
Well, it's my hobby.
It's your hobby.
Yes, yes. Oh, what a show.
Isn't this fun?
Oh, an old Flippo.
An old Flippo.
Oh, Flippy Poo.
Oh, God.
So darling.
You guys go way back.
I was
Yes,
on a show.
the first fan mail I ever got was from her writers.
Really?
From my writers?
Yes, you remember I told you, I showed you the card, and you said the woman was one of your writers.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Well, we were all your fans. You kidding? But now you've gotten so grand, darling.
Tell me.
And he's going to date you.
Well, he's been asking me out. Do you think I should go out with him?
Oh, yes.
You think so?
Yes.
What?
And then call me.
And then call me. Now, tell me about Fang.
Oh, Fang, the idiot. Well, you know, if a person is really stupid, and he is, I asked him to lower the thermostat. He put it 6 inches above the floor. And, you know, if a person is really dumb, they're always boasting. And he's always telling the kids how he had the lead in the school play played Abraham Lincoln. And the reason was that he was the only kid in the 3rd grade with a beard. He's just endlessly dumb.
Endlessly dumb. Was Fang a real person?
No.
No. He was...
But mythically, we've been married 50 years.
50 years.
Yes, and after 50 years with Fang, Klaus von Bülow looks good.
How did you get your start? How did it all begin?
Oh, I was born.
Born? Were you always funny as a kid?
Oh, well, I was funny looking. And that helps. It helps to get you started. I had an audition at a small club, and I got the job, and it's never stopped in the meantime. Because I looked terribly funny. I wore a lot of feathers, and I had a beak, skinny legs, and they expected me to fly. and there was a lot of get a stick.
Oh, God.
Kill it before it multiplies.
You did so much for women in comedy. You really, really did.
Stand-up. You see, I was the first really stand-up, you know. It's different. It's a whole field. You see, there's 3. There's comic actress, comedian, and comic. And, of course, well, you just saw Lucille Ball, comic actress. Mm-hmm. And then the comic is hardcore stand-up. Hardcore, where you're responsible for your own material and you work alone in one, meaning in front of one curtain, and it's far more difficult than some of the other things because you don't have props or anyone working with you. Yes. When I got started, all of the comedy team were teams. Yes. Martin and Lewis and
Yes.
Mostly teams. You know,
yeah.
you were alone.
Yes. But you walked where giants walked.
Oh, aren't you sweet?
Yes, you stood where giants.
I was really out there,
yes,
wasn't it?
Yes,
yeah.
you were.
Yeah. You had so many hilarious looks. We have a whole montage of all of your looks. Take a look at Phyllis Diller through the ages. Look at all these different shots of you. Oh. How do you stay so young looking?
Well, I don't know what you're looking at, but I guess surgery.
Surgery. Now, you know one thing I like about you, Phyllis Diller, is you will be honest about your plastic surgery.
Oh, yes.
Can we ask you what you had done?
Everything.
Everything?
I even had the chair fixed.
That is too funny. Some funny things have happened to you along the way. Wait, let's go back, because I know somebody's out there going, wait a minute, she didn't answer the question. You had everything done.
Oh, absolutely everything.
Everything. You don't get afraid of it or anything?
No. I have a lot of faith in whatever. You know, you get on a bus, you assume the driver isn't drunk. And I go to a doctor, and I try to pick a good doctor, you know, and I just give him my whole faith. I think that helps, because I know a lot of women will go to a plastic surgeon and ask so many dumb questions that by the time he operates, he's such a nervous wreck that, that he does cut her up bad.
Wasn't that your line about having had so much lifted that they made a little man that you had walk beside her? Wasn't that your line? Yes.
Well, I could, you know, I could. No, actually, what they did, my old face, when they took it off, they gave it to the dog.
They gave it to the dog?
To play with, you know.
To play with. When we come back, his marriage to Miss Vicky on The Tonight Show sent the ratings to the roof. Tiny Tim tiptoes through the tulips, and more with Phyllis Diller and Flip Wilson as soon as we come back. Great new open for my show, but take a look back at another great open that, well, is going to take you back a while.
The Flip Wilson Show.
What a smash. Did you see that audience?
I haven't seen an audience in 15 years.
Boy, I remember every Thursday night from 1970 to 74 sitting in front to watch the Flip Wilson Show. Today we're going to be talking to comedy sensations Flip Wilson, Phyllis Diller, and Tiny Tim. And to start off the festivities, here he is, the one and only Flip! Golly. Oh, boy. It is so great to see you. Does he look great? Doesn't he look great? Wow. Thank you. I did not miss a show. Thursday nights, I was glued to the tube down in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, giggling, laughing, and waiting for Geraldine.
Well, you always did have good taste.
Thank you. Boy, from 1970 to 74, you're the first African-American to have a successful variety show on television.
I cannot tell you how long I have waited. I thought that you would never. So many times I've seen you introduce people to the loves of their life, and you did not know how long I've been waiting to meet you.
Are you serious? Me?
Yes, yes, yes. Because you are such a fine, wholesome young lady. And you are very much like the girl next door.
Thank you. That is so... Oh, I love you.
Really?
Thank you so much. What a compliment. Thank you.
It may seem as though I'm hitting on you.
Hit on me, hit on
But
me.
I'm trying to be a good neighbor.
I'm trying to be a good neighbor.
Yes, yes.
God.
I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
And the next time that you want me to come and do this show, don't send no ticket. You don't have to have no script. If you agree to have dinner, I'll buy my own ticket, and I will get on the plane.
I will have dinner. You got it. You got it. My goodness.
You know what? I'm not going to mention any names, but I'd like to be your Stedman. You know? And I was thinking maybe, I'll show you how much I care about you. I'd like to do a television show with you, and they could name it Rolonda, and what's his name?
No.
That's all it is.
Everybody knows
very,
your
very
name.
excited. I mean, I'm glad to be here and kind of lost fumbling around for words, but I know what I feel.
Yeah, that's awfully nice of you. So you're single?
Yes, I am.
You're not married anymore?
I am not married at this time.
Okay.
No, I had a few.
Yeah, I heard. You were married twice, right?
Yes. And
What
I
happened?
had 5 palimony suits. They didn't.
The lady up there had hyperventilated. She said 5 palimony suits.
Yes.
Why 5? How did you get?
Because if I had said 4, I wouldn't have been telling the truth. That's why 5.
But I think a lot of people are really, because relationships are so hard these days.
You know what I think it is? When you're a man who makes a living with a dress on, women try you.
Well, let's talk about some of those characters.
Okay.
Geraldine rocked the world.
Yes.
Was Geraldine like the best character?
Okay.
Let's take a look at Geraldine.
Okay.
Well, you gotta see it to believe it.
Well, you better believe it, because you ain't gonna get to see it.
What you see is what you get.
Yes, that's how I go. That line there.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you the way that line came up. I had the Geraldine stuff on. It was just before I'm getting ready to go on stage, the first time, and one of the stagehands said, "Damn, you sure look good." I said, "What'd you say?" He said, "You sure are a fine-looking broad." And I said, "No matter how fine I look, when I take this dress off, what you see is what you get." The kids loved it.
Speaking of one of the men who were your characters, Herbie the Good Time Ice Cream Man.
Herbie?
Let's take a look at Herbie in action.
Okay.
Well, move away from the cart. Don't crowd the cart. People gotta see what I'm selling here. I don't care what you think of my attitude. I'm selling ice cream, not public relations. You want some or don't you?
Oh, yeah, everybody. I want some myself. Laurie, Debbie, Lindy, Cherry.
Chocolate. 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 Chocolate.
Vanilla.
There's one in every group.
We're going to talk to you about some of your other characters, too, like Reverend Leroy in the Church of What's Happening Now. But wait a minute before we get there. Up next, we also have one of Flip's biggest fans backstage. It's his daughter. Flip's a daddy, too. Tamara's going to join us. She's going to tell us what Flip is really like. She's going to prepare me for that dinner I may have to have with him right after this.
Take it easy, Geraldine. I told you the name is Miss Jones. Now I'm not going to tell you again. You must not have heard about Killer.
Killer? Who's Killer?
Who's Killer? Honey, he marched down the football field of my heart.
Would you welcome, please, Tiny Tim.
Well, Tiny Tim. I'm back here talking with these folks back here. Everybody's going through Old Home Week, remembering everything that Phyllis and Flip and Tiny Tim did. The name became known around the country the night he married Miss Vicky on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show. That was December 17th, 1969. Do you remember that?
Sure do.
You sure do?
Sure do.
Sure do. More than 21 million homes had their TV sets.
About 3 years old.
About 3 years old you were, huh? Yeah, right. Okay. But all these millions of homes had their television sets, and everybody had their eyes glued to the marriage of Tiny Tim and Miss Vicky. Now, let's take a look at that tape there. Here they are on Johnny Carson getting married. A beautiful moment. Now, strangely enough, Phyllis Diller was a kind of bridesmaid on the show that night as well. We're going to hear all about that in just a minute. But let's, without further ado, let's bring out Tiny Tim. see you. I'm doing fine. Come on, have a seat. Have a seat. You name everybody Miss. She just called me Miss Rolonda.
Yeah, it's formal, it's nice, I feel good doing that. I don't take anyone for granted.
Oh, that's nice. I remember that Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Do y'all remember? And everybody would play Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Well, you do it better than me right now.
The marriage on The Tonight Show, how did that come about?
That was in September of 1969. Mr. Carson asked. We were just getting engaged there, and I was very hot, and he did so much for me in New York, so I decided to break it there. And then he said, would you like to do it on our show? Where are you getting married? I said, in Haddonfield, New Jersey, about the 25th of December. He said, why don't you do it on our show? NBC will take care of the bills, and we'll do it in good taste.
Wow. Boy, did you get gifts?
Yes. We had the reception at the ground floor restaurant at CBS later, and everyone was stolen. Over 2,000 people crashed the party and took all the gifts.
You're kidding!
And then when they asked, they said, you never thanked us months later. I said, well, we never got it.
Unbelievable. Now, Phyllis Diller was at the wedding?
Yes, I was. It was the high point of my whole year.
When they said, come on, because we're doing a television wedding, I mean, what was the first thing you thought there?
Well, actually, they said it's going to be formal. Everybody will be wearing tuxes, formals, and I don't know what went wrong, but I got over there in a short dress, and I had to borrow a dress from one of the people on the show backstage. You know, she had on a long dress. Fortunately, in those days, I fit anything.
You had such a good stint on Laugh In. What was it like? What was it like working on the show?
Well, it was a thrill. Anytime you're on a hot show that's #1 in the country, and you see a name in the Inquirer and 16 magazine, Teen Beat at the time, anytime that happens, it's a great thrill. Words cannot express the moment in paradise for those 2 or 3 years of 4. As sure as you know, Mr. Wills can tell you, and Miss Diller, definitely they are moments in time. They can't be replaced. It is the hot period.
Whatever happened to Miss Vicky?
Right now, she is in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I don't know if she's got her 4th husband or not, but she just closed her antique shop, which I wonder about anyway. When she opened it, she left a good job. She left a good job for 8 years and took that. And right now, if there's a dartboard, she's throwing darts.
Okay, well, let's move right on to the next wife. Their second wife is here. This is Miss Jan. Come on, Miss Jan. How are you?
Oh, just great. I'm thrilled to be here and to meet you.
How did you guys meet?
We met at a Christmas party in 1983 at the Williams Club here in Manhattan.
And what's it like being married to Tiny Tim? Tell us the truth now.
It was wonderful. We were married for 11 years. We were very much in love, and we just had 11 beautiful, happy years together.
So what happened?
Things happen in life, and sometimes you fall out of love.
But you'd have keep a good, oh, Tiny Tim, look at that.
I have to correct that. Darling, I don't want to make it, there were 11 years. There was a lot of happiness, but a lot of ups and downs, a lot of downs too. I was very jealous of her, extremely jealous. I wouldn't let her out of my sight. She was very independent. She's a great artist. She lived in her apartment. I lived in mine. I had to live with my mother. She passed away, rest in peace. But most of the time, we never really lived together. She always visited me, and I was very jealous of her. I would hit the ceiling when she went. I don't know who she was with for the 11 years. And the breakup of this marriage is because I didn't know, and I still think, I don't want to embarrass you, honey, but you're here. I told you the truth. I still believe she fooled around with me while she was married to me.
Okay, when we come back, Tiny Tim is going to sing that world-famous Tiptoe Through the Tulips. We're here with comedy sensations Flip Wilson, Phyllis Diller, and Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim, that song Tiptoe Through the Tulips, I think we all still remember. Could you sing it for us?
I'd love to. Can I just say one other thing?
Sure.
Not flattering, I don't care for the applause. I think Mr. Wilson has a lot of mileage. There's a hit series here again.
Whoa, wouldn't that be great?
Tiptoe by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Little horse.
Question.
So high now.
How did you get the name Tiny Tim?
Well, I had so many managers, and one of them gave it to me, and it caught on, George King. But I could do one more song to cover that up for a
Okay,
second.
all right.
Why roll out the barrel? We'll have a barrel of fun. Why roll out the barrel? We got the blues on the run. Oh, sing Bartararo. Why ring out a song of good cheer? Everybody loves the barrel when the gang's all here.
Yay! Much more, you're Austin. Question.
Hi. This is for Flip. How did you get the name Flip?
My buddies in the service, they used to say, he has flippeth his lid.
I've got another question for Flip. I'd like to know what you think about the young comedians today who are, for instance, Martin Lawrence, who does Shanae, obviously influenced by you. What do you think about all that?
I have no answer at this time.
No answer?
No answer at this time.
Now, what does that mean, Flip?
Well, I thought I was pretty broad-minded and stretch out, and a lot of stuff is comedy overall. I'm speaking of is a little more risque. As far as anybody working, I'm glad anybody's working who has any possibility or any ability to work. I'm glad everybody's working, but I do not have that much of a taste for the style of comedy at present.
Yeah. Comedy was a lot simpler back in your day.
It was a family thing.
Yeah.
Most of the people that I run into said, I used to watch you with my mother, I used to watch
That's
you with my
right.
grandfather."
My whole family
It was a
would sit and
family
watch
thing.
you. That's
It was
right.
family, and there isn't that anymore. So
Yeah.
I don't want to condemn everybody else, because every audience picks their own artist
Right.
at that time.
But I think
so
a
it is
lot
not
of
for me
people
to
in
condemn
America-
the present audience's taste.
That's right. I think a lot of families probably feel that way. That was a time back then when we sat as families in front of the television and watched as a whole family. Well, when we come back, my audience thinks that they're so funny. Well, we're going to hear what the pros think. I got a few comedians around here and a lot more questions right after this. Sorry about that. I had to get it right.
Tupac Shakur's murder has sparked controversy over the violent lifestyle of some rap musicians. Now, some of rap's biggest names are coming together to find out if there's a way to stop the violence. Monday on Rolonda.
If you watch the Rolonda show, you know the Rolonda audience is never at a loss for words. And in my audience today, we just happen to have some up-and-coming comedians who perform around here in New York City. And here they are. Are you guys ready for this? Welcome. We're going to let each comedian come up and do a little performance, and then would you critique them? I mean, there are not many people who say that these three greats critiqued them. Why don't you start? Why don't you go on? We're going to start over there. Oh, got those little jitters. Okay, come on, let's go.
Thank you very much. Is this on? Is it
It's on.
All righty. So how we doing? My name is Kim
Good.
Alpert. Thank you. My name is Kim Alpert. It's great to be here. A little bit about myself. I moved to New York about 5 years ago from Las Vegas. And I know what you're all thinking, but no, I was not a showgirl. I was a stripper, and actually, no, I think better than a stripper, I would have made a really good, like, dresser. You know, I get on stage buck naked, and guys with the money want me to put my clothes on. You know, like, instead of take it off, they'd be like, put it on, put it on. Here's a 20 and a turtleneck, knock yourself out. And I am single woman in New York. It's kind of tough. I've been single for a while now, you know, because I've been sober, and that makes a world of difference, I think. But one thing I seem to attract a lot of short men. No offense to any of you guys out there, but it doesn't work for me. And yeah, I see you guys. It's all right. And I don't think it's fair, though. You know, a world full of tall men. I'm going to settle this problem. I'm going to go to Disneyland and get one of those signs that says, "You must be at least this tall to ride this ride." Thank you very much. You guys are great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. you think, Flip? What do you think?
I liked her.
You
very
liked
much.
her?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Okay, comedian number 2. Phyllis, any comments?
Oh, she's terribly funny, and you're wonderful, you're gorgeous. But you know, I wish you wouldn't start out with how you doing. I just start right in. Just get them.
Go right
You're
in.
wonderful. You're wonderful.
Well, I certainly would agree with Miss Diller. This woman is excellent. No matter how she starts off, her delivery is excellent. You know what? Right from the start, the secret of a great comedian is the delivery and the voice. Jack Benny had it. Groucho Marx had it.
And
Mr.
this
Wilson
guy's
has it.
got it.
And this guy has it.
Woo! Give it up for Flip Wilson. How you doing, Flip? Oh, I gotta tell you, I have to admit, I was scared to come out here because you gotta watch talk shows. I was scared to come out here first. They told me they was doing comedy, but I thought when I came out, somebody gonna say, "You my baby father." You keep me like, "Daddy, Daddy." I was scared. I wouldn't mind if a woman said it, but if there was a guy there, thought, "You my baby father." Rolonda. But it's good. Being in New York, there's a whole bunch of crazy people here in New York, right? A lot of crazy people here in New York.
Yes.
Don't you like taking the subway? Isn't that where you see most of the crazy people on the subway? You always have to have like a newspaper on the subway because you can't make eye contact with the crazy people. Don't you hate when you're on the train reading the paper and somebody next to you start reading your paper?
That's right.
And you finish that page and you can't turn because you know he ain't finished? I'll be real brief, real quick. A lot of crazy people, I take the subway a lot, being a comedian by myself. And let me give you a piece of advice. If you ever feel somebody's going to rob you, act crazy. I do it all the time. I was thinking the D train, walking by myself, somebody started to follow behind me. I started acting crazy. Figured he'd leave me alone. Started getting real close. Let go my ego! Ricola! Take care of your big lady. Bye-bye.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I give him 9 3/4.
Whoa!
But just a minute. That only the other quarter I'm taking away because he's too anxious to get on.
Next.
Hi there. I'm Ellen, everybody. Hi. Hi. I'm about to talk about sex in the 90s. It's clean, Flip. It's wholesome, so don't worry. You might need it for your date with Rolonda. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's scary, though, you guys, right? Sex in the 90s, isn't it? Because there are all these horrible things now that we can pick up from sex, venereal disease, AIDS. Don't you guys wish there was something good you could pick up from sex? Like a new language. You could be like, Rolonda, how was your date last night? Well, Ellen, needless to say, it was an incredible night. Una notte bellissima. Abbiamo fatto l'amore con lui 6 volte incredibile! The problem with this, though, you guys picking up, languages from sex, is that it would be really easy to detect the floozies. Am I right? You'd be like, that's my friend Kim over there, She speaks 15 different languages. Thank you very much.
When we come back, will Flip maybe do a little Geraldine for us? Maybe, please, please, please. We'll find out in just a minute. Please, please. Just admitting here she was a little nervous. What were you saying? These are my idols.
Yeah, Phyllis Diller, what she's done for women in comedy, she's just such an idol. And Flip Wilson, I used to beg my mom, I'd be like, Mom, please, can we stay up for the Flip Wilson show? So it was and Tiny Tim, I'm not leaving you out, always laugh, tiptoe to the tulips.
How about some critique for Ellen?
Ellen's great, positively great material, and funny, such energy.
Yeah.
It's great.
I know that you had a question. What do you want to ask?
I had a question for Flip Wilson. First, I'm gonna say I love you, Flip.
Thank you.
I mean, watching you're one of the inspirations for me, making me want to do comedy.
Yes.
You know, like you said, it was a family thing. I used to sit down with my father, and he got me watching you, and I watched you every week. I wanted to ask you, how was it working with Richard Pryor back then?
Hectic. Richie is quite a temperamental, very emotional guy to work with. I know Richie very well. He's always been a very long-time friend, and we spent many hours sitting up discussing comedy. But it's quite delicate working with Richie because you don't know if he'll come back from lunch.
You did so many unforgettable characters, but I think the most unforgettable has got to be Geraldine.
Let me tell you.
And I'm going to put you on the spot. Please.
Okay.
Please,
No.
Geraldine. Please.
Okay. Tell you what. Rolonda, if you come down here and sit.
Okay.
Let me just sit there a little bit. Just have a seat here.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's something I'd like to do in place of Geraldine. And if you do not approve of what I've done, then I would still do Geraldine. But it's what I'd really rather do. I'd rather recite a piece from the works of Khalil Gibran, one of my favorite, and I'd like to recite it to this young lady.
And you study the prophet.
Yes. Okay?
Okay.
I want to do I Believe in You. Okay? I believe in you, and I believe in your destiny. I believe that you are a contributor to a new civilization. I believe that you have inherited from your forefathers an ancient dream, a song, a prophecy, which you may proudly lay as a gift of gratitude upon the lap of the world. And to say from the bottom of my heart, I am the descendant of the slaves who helped build this great nation. And now, as is God's will, I too am here to build with you. I am proud to be an American, and I am proud to be the son of my fathers and of their fathers and of their grandfathers, who were brought to this young land against their will, but upon whom God placed his merciful and benevolent hand. And it is as their witness that I say to all Americans, I believe in you.
Wow. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I never expected that. Boy. My God. Y'all want some Kleenex? Oh, we'll be right back. Oh, God.
But this time, there's only one talk show with an inside view. Only one with a seat in the courtroom, and that's Rolonda, bringing you what the other shows cannot. And wrapping up the week's most surprising courtroom developments in special Friday shows. The arguments are heating up, and we're revealing what you can expect from OJ's first trip to the stand. All on OJ Friday on the next Rolonda.
I just want to say that's one of the nicest things anybody has ever done to me ever in my life, and I appreciate you so much, Flip Wilson.
My pleasure.
And you do get that date.
Okay.
I'd also like to thank Phyllis Diller and Tiny Tim. I cannot thank you enough. You give us so much laughter.
Wow.
And that's the greatest gift you could give. Thank you so much. And goodbye, everybody. Thanks for being with us. Thank you. Thanks for being with us. Oh, I really appreciate you.
Start at the end of the bed, will you please? Now, what does it say?
Yes, honey. Sure enough.
Yeah,
Bill Cosby.
that's right. Star of stage, screen, theater, concerts, records, everything.
Yes, star, stage, screen, concert, represent everything. Yes, son, you must be here for a swollen ego.
Look, now that I'm Bill Cosby, can I have some water, please?
All you movie stars are alike. You getting your face lifted?
No, I believe in the natural, just let your face hang out.
Here you go, open up.
Let me check your pulse. You'll be all right. You devil, you. A little something extra special for you. When you get well, I got another surprise for you.